Everybody, this is Pathtracing, and in this video I'm going to show some differences between denoised and non-denoised image and some work I'm trying to do on it. This is not using the denoiser at all, so you can see all that kind of static everywhere, and I want to specifically look right here, and then we're going to look at this normal map testing area. If I can find it real quick. And I want to show just the difference in detail and some of the stuff I'm trying to work on. So look at like how crisp the textures are and the detail of them, like all the texture on there and on this stuff. And then let's switch over to the denoiser now. And then after that, the rest of this video is going to be running with a much higher trace depth. This is tracing 50 blocks in the light. And after this, we're going to look at 256. Because this is testing doing full deep path tracing of everything instead of doing more limited. So I'll talk about it. Because here we lose a lot of the detail, but we also lose the static, except just on the edge of the screen. So the rest of the video is going to be with this denoiser on. This is a work in progress, and I'm kind of torn because I already just recorded the video and it's long. But look at this ringer, for example, and then let me turn off the denoiser and see the difference. But here it definitely helps with a lot, but it strips away some detail. And before, the denoiser was barely working, so as I tune how it works dynamically, I'll try to capture something between these two and better. And as I'll talk about, once I implement the rough lighting cache, it'll have less noise than the worst of this and run better and look better. So let's get into the rest of the video. Hey, what it is, Pathtracing. This video is going to be a horribly running but calm walk through the RTX test map with some new heavily leaning into path trace lighting type stuff I'm doing. This is trying to do some new stuff with the denoiser, and this is doing absolutely no flood fill. I found out just taking that out makes it look a lot better, so I want to tune the denoising a little more. There's still some noise you can see on the edge of the screen when I turn, because I'm not using like a radiance or a radiance cache, whatever they call it. So all of this lighting is being calculated every frame as far as when something's new on the screen. Once I do that, stuff off screen will also be accumulating light, like stuff that's on screen is. So it won't start with static, it'll start with like knowing what light is there. So that should remove pretty much all of that problem. But yeah, I think this is doing a decent job. There's still some more to do. See, there's like a light leak in the corner there. Skylight coming through. This is with just taking out the flood fill and doing like just a tiny bit of work on the denoiser. I want to walk around a little bit. Let's see how it looks. When I tweak this more, it'll change how crisp the detail is on the materials and everything. It just needs more tuning, because it kind of I've got the denoiser trying to be more aggressive when something is fresh on screen, and then starting to be less aggressive, to try to kind of get rid of the static, but then also resolve to some good detail. There's still problems with slabs, as you can see. When they're on screen, it kind of knows that they're not full blocks, but that's about it. Actually, let me switch over to my controller, get some smooth movement. As smooth as we can get at like the 20 FPS this is probably running at. The reason we get sky leaks, like skylight leaking through the ceiling and stuff, is because I'm sampling the skylight values per block. I can probably just take that out as part of stripping more vanilla stuff out. It looks like there's still some static movement on entities. I'll have to redo that stuff. I think this is a big noise reduction, and it's still got, it's a pretty good texture. It still resolves pretty well. If we turn to nighttime, it should get rid of those kind of leaks. Let's see. And when I port to aperture, it'll get rid of those too, because like I said, right now I'm sampling a a skylight value per block. But I can take that out as an option and just let it actually try to bounce there. At night there's not too much to see over here. And then also, when I do the aperture port, I think it actually saves those values even in air, so I can sample off of the block, and that'll be more accurate. I'm hoping the compression doesn't kill this. This is running at 1080p, and I want you to be able to see the static on the edges of the screen. I'm lost now because it's dark. Let's switch back to daytime, I guess. And you can see those leaks because it doesn't. If I sample the skylight values that vanilla gives, it just doesn't know which side of the block is exposed and thinks they're all exposed. So that's where that leak comes from. This loses some texture value that was here yesterday. So I will tune that denoising a little more to kind of retain more detail. I still got a little bit of a movement in it too. Yeah, doing this deep of rough light tracing is not efficient. But once I do that rough lighting cache thing, it'll pretty much save the rough lighting for each block, so that we can then only have to trace that one deep pretty much, instead of however many deep is it going. This is going like 256 deep, which is too much. I'd probably have a do less and still look okay. So I wanted to get a look at what this is kind of what it would look like with that. So I wanted to see what it would look like. I mean, that would look better than this, so I wanted to get close to what that would look like. And then work on the stuff that takes up more noise and better lighting. So with that, this will have less noise and run faster. And I could tune this to keep a little bit more detail. It's a little bit blurrier than I had it yesterday. Like I said, this is doing all the diffuse lighting too. And I've got set up in my stuff to have magma blocks flicker. I'm gonna take that out because it doesn't reflect in the texture, it just reflects in the lighting. Let me know what you guys think. Is this too smoothed out? Like, is it too denoised? Or does it still look like it's capturing the materials pretty well? You see those stairs still have little glitches. I think if I put this to only run like 50 deep instead of the 250 deep, it might run a good deal better. So I'll check that in a bit once we kind of go a few more places. I kind of, like I said, I kind of want to see what it would look like with the current formulas. Light bouncing off the diamond block there. What light? Is that just skylight? Oh, that's a black block light, I guess. Shining off on the metals. I've got some code to start doing refractions. I don't really do refractions. I've got to fix that light leak too. I can start bending the refractive stuff. I feel like the wood looks much better with the denoising where it is right now. My GPU is begging for mercy. And so if I, let me see if I can get back up. Once I tune the denoiser better, I think I can get rid of the noise when the camera first turns, and the rough lighting cache will completely eliminate it. And I could try, I think there's almost none once the image is settled. There's a little bit, there's smearing, but I mean, it's going to be somewhere between those two, to try to keep this much rough lighting data. That's fun, you can see the light coming off of stuff there. It's bouncing off of those up there. Hi Mercy. This video is now brought to you by Mercy the cat. Since I've not been able to do kind of more than the weekly uploads, I might change the VIP membership to instead include pictures of my cats. If you guys would like pictures of my cats, let me know. That might be a new supporter bonus. I think this is doing pretty good. I'm trying to rebalance all like the lobe stuff with materials too. Like I said, this is going, it's letting it trace 256 blocks deep. Let's get rid of his light loops for a second. I could probably get rid of that skylight leak by manually tracing skylight. Alternatively, it'll be easy to fix an aperture. Let's see, I can't tell where I am now. And it looks like you can see like the static at first, and then it kind of settles. So I do still need to do more with the denoising on that too. Let's see. And I'll probably do another walkthrough of the Pathtracing test map as well. I think if any of these other areas have really cool spots. I think that's it. I'll look through. I think there's a post-processing area. I'll go there for a second. There's more rooms. The lens flare room. Yeah, I think leaning into, like, getting rid of the flood fill and leaning into the path tracing like this is a good look. Wow. And we don't have to put the field on, so. Cool. Hope everyone's having a good week. This is this stuff will be the new render preset. And I'm going to turn what was render preset into hybrid, and I'm going to turn what was hybrid into vanilla plus or something. But yeah, this month is going to heavily be just optimizing, because I want to play like this, and I don't want to have the noise on the edge of the screen. Actually, let's look at this with much less bouncing depth to see what I could do there. I don't think 30 would be enough. I'm going to optimize that too. I mean, this might have less noise because it's not tracing as deep. Which makes sense. It's probably still running like absolute trash though. It needs to be at least double that. Like I said, doing the rough lighting cache will make that a lot better. Let's also turn off the denoiser just for fun, just to see what it's doing. Here's without the denoising, and you see there's a lot more detail but a lot more noise. This is kind of what it looked like before because the denoiser wasn't actually working appropriately. Let's go to the normal map area. I want to look at that spot again. I feel like it has a spot that's really good. Just go looked at it a few times. I can see the detail here. Let's put the denoiser back on. I don't want to see the difference. So I don't want to lose too much detail. But I do want to leverage it for stuff like subsurface skyline. Yeah, I feel like that might be too soft. So I'll tune it some more and get something between the two because that's so much better without the